Welcome family, friends. I've decided to shoot a video, something a little different, just because I'm tired of typing and I don't feel like actually doing a blog entry, and you'll be able to see me, understand that I'm still in one piece and still alive. I just want to say briefly what I'm studying and how it might be different than, say, in the States. The first subject, I'm studying hermeneutics, basically how to interpret scripture. I've already taken hermeneutics, but this is very different because one, I'm learning from a African professor, and his heart and passion is for the African people, so it's really tilted towards engaging African styles of interpretation. So we're looking like liberation hermeneutics and feminist hermeneutics. And yeah, you don't have to know what they are, but basically how the worldview of Africans is impressing upon their ability to read scripture. So it's a really fascinating, cool class. I really enjoy it. I'm also taking a class, church history. It's pretty good. Then I'm also taking evangelism to Muslims. Really enjoying that. I have a praise about that. One of the requirements is that you would find a Muslim in the area and you would evangelize them for the remainder of the period. Basically, you have to meet 10 times. And I couldn't find anybody. Of course, there's not very many Muslims even in Nairobi. It's a small population. There are a few mosques, but it's like, what am I going to do? Just, show up to a mosque and hopefully they understand English. So I was really hesitant. I wasn't sure how to do. The teacher eventually gave me a phone number somewhere I could possibly call. But last Saturday I was praying in the morning and just asking God to provide somebody to show me the right person, because it's very important when you're engaging a Muslim that you're similar age, and obviously you don't want to engage a fanatic or a very fundamental Muslim. You have to be careful because you're Western. So I was lifting these prayer requests up. And after I prayed, I decided to go to the library, and I met somebody who I play basketball with once a week. On Sundays I go and play basketball, and I asked him, hey, if he knew any young people like himself that were Muslim, and he said, oh, actually one of the people on our team, the guys that I play basketball with every week, was a Muslim, which I was very surprised because, like I said, there's not many Muslims in the community, but much less amongst the other people, which are all Christians. So that was a total blessing. I already have a connection. I've already had a friendship with this guy, and I think God's really going to bless it. And now it's starting to make sense that he was a Muslim. We had a basketball tournament about 2 weeks ago, and at halftime or midday we started eating lunch, but this guy was refusing to eat lunch, and I asked him, why aren't you eating lunch? And he's like, oh, I'm just not hungry, it's okay. But obviously now I realize he's a Muslim, and it was during Ramadan, so he was fasting and couldn't eat. But please be praying for this guy. His name's Rama. His name's actually Ramadan, which is, I'm not sure exactly why you named the kid Ramadan, but it's an unfamiliar name in Islam, but he goes by Rama, so lift him up in prayer. I'm also taking a class on different religions, world religions, which is a great class. Wonderful professor, Dr. Kim. He's from South Korea. He grew up a Buddhist, but when he was 25, he converted to Christianity. He was actually studying to be a priest, and totally switched to study to be a pastor, a missionary. And he's been in Kenya for about 20 years, almost 20 years, working amongst the Muslim people. So he's very well published, and he's an amazing guy. He took the whole class. There's probably only about 10 of us, but he took us to an Ethiopian restaurant, and we enjoyed some Ethiopian food. And he always buys us tea during breaks, and he's just a really, really amazing guy. When I first met him, he started explaining, his passion, his desire, and I was saying, he's just like, I just love God, I was like, whoa, that's crazy, guy that's so much into academics and making Christian scholars, but he's so passionate still for the love of Christ and God, which you don't always see. So that's a little bit what's going on. One thing, they say that the missions department is family. And family in Africa is a little different than, say, family in the West. So we refer to our leaders as basically dad, and we have one female teacher, we call her mom. So which is not really uncommon to take on different titles that might seem different from a Westerner. For example, in the African context, my mother, her sister, I would still call mom. So Aunt Kathy, Aunt Melody, you'd be mom to me if you're in Africa. Then also your kids would actually be my sister or my brother. So, but if my mom's brother, now he wouldn't be my father. It would have to be my father's brother would be my father, and then their kids would be my brother and sister. So it's a little different, but it's kind of special. It's the African way, and it really shows the love of community and the togetherness that the family represents here. So the missions department is family, so I'm very excited to be about the family at Next.